All right, well, let's move on to some segments. You know, we did a segment about this girl not too long ago, although it's probably been a year or two. So former Fox News host Megyn Kelly was hitting the news again, ranting against fillers of all things. So we did a segment about Megyn Kelly, I guess a year or so ago. Remember when she got in a fight with Erin Moriarty of The Boys? Like, you remember that? Maybe you weren't here for that episode. I thought you were. Erin Moriarty is Starlight from The Boys, like the superhero one that I love so much.
Oh, yeah.
And she got like buccal fat removal, and like Megyn Kelly like roasted her like on social media, and Erin Moriarty got like really upset, and they had this like thing. Anyway, so Megyn Kelly's back out there talking about plastic surgery. So on her show, so she has a pretty big podcast, she went on this kind of rant about fillers, and I brought the video for everyone to see. Travis, roll that video.
Message to my fellow women. It is okay to have lines on your face. It's fine. And honestly, like I'm big on Botox. I've told the audience that I am very anti-filler because all it does is make you look bloated and kind of fat. I'd much rather have these lines here. I really would. Just they're lines. They're lines because I'm 54. Lines come on your face when you're 54. You can do something about the ones up here. You can't do much about these, and that's fine. Might as well let them come instead of make yourself look weirdly fat and bloated on an otherwise stunning face.
Sorry, we were
being immature.
Yeah, we were being inappropriate. Okay, what do you guys think about her rant about? You guys know a lot about this, don't you?
I agree with her.
You do agree with her. You're anti-filler?
I mean, some people get them and they look okay, but I feel like for the most part, it's like they get them and they continue to get them, and then they start having that pillow face look, and I just don't like it.
Trey, Megyn Kelly, she on point here or no?
Yeah, I guess so.
A little bit.
I guess so. Yeah, I think I like the opinion.
I'm on the fence. I'm neutral because I think she has some points, and I think other parts were not as great. So I do think she's been a little hypocritical, honestly.
Because she gets Botox?
Yeah, because she's like, it's okay to have lines on your face, but I go get Botox every 4 months. I mean, that's completely contradictory. I mean, if you want to like be that person that's like, oh, it's totally fine to look old, don't say you're out there getting Botox. I mean, I don't know, I just, that kind of like irked me a little bit.
Yeah.
And the part where she said she's anti-filler because it makes you look bloated and kind of fat, which that made me chuckle. I mean, she's right if it's done badly.
Yeah.
You know, and so my concern with what she's saying is that she's basically taking the worst example of something and saying this is what it is all the time.
This is what could happen, this is what always happens.
Yeah, she's more saying if you go get filler, you're going to have the worst outcome. And I do have some disagreement with her on that because, I mean, you guys have heard me talk about filler. I mean, if it's done properly, no one knows you have it. I mean, that's the best filler. I mean, I think that, you've met my wife. I mean, do you think she looks like she has filler in? I mean, she does, she does because
I didn't know.
She's, we're 50 years old and, she looks really young, and it's because she has, and she looks great anyway, but, some very conservative, skillfully placed filler can really shave years off and not look bloated and fat or whatever it is that Megyn Kelly said.
Yeah.
But I do think that she has a point that some people go overboard, and it's what you guys both said. I mean, I agree with that.
Yeah.
And she said I don't think filler makes you look fat. Honestly, that's what she was saying. I think it makes you look unnatural. When we see people that get filler and we're like, oh, that person's got bad filler.
Specifically in their lips.
Yeah, they don't look fat. They just look like unnatural. Like, remember Madonna? I wouldn't say Madonna
because they get it. I feel like they get it like right here because they want their cheekbones to look really high, but then they end up like.
Right. It just look if you
they look like aliens.
If you take it too far, it's just problematic. And then she also said that you can do something about your forehead lines, but you can't do anything about so she was pointing at her nasolabial folds, is what she was pointing at. So it's like mid-face lines. So.
Is that where you usually get filler?
It can be. Yeah, it's a really commonplace because as you age and your face starts to fall, these lines become really noticeable. In really, really young people, they're not that noticeable. For you can barely see them. For me, you can, barely see them. But for some people, they're more noticeable. And the filler actually the filler actually is pretty good at just at contouring it a bit so they're not so noticeable.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the one place where filler is not really noticeable at all. You can get a lot of filler in your nasolabial folds and no one will really know. It's when people get filler in their lips and their cheeks, that's when it's really noticeable. So she's kind of off base there. And then, you know, she was saying that you can't do anything about these lines. You can. I mean, you can use traditional filler like Juvederm or Restylane. You can use non-traditional fillers like Sculptra. That'll help these lines. You can do skin tightening things like Halo and Morpheus are great for tightening your face, which will take away those lines. So, you know, I mean, she's just wrong on that one where she says, oh, you can't do anything about this. You can, and it can look totally natural. So I got some beef with you, Megyn Kelly, because you're generalizing.
Doesn't she have strong opinions about everything? That's why she has a show.
I mean, yeah, she does. She does. She's probably doing this just for the clicks. And I do agree with her about Botox. If you want, and I'm not saying everyone needs to go get Botox, but if you want to stay looking young, Botox is basically the lowest hanging fruit for doing that.
Yeah.
Because it takes away these lines here and here and here, and those lines make you look older. So I agree with her on that. I do agree with her that too much filler is a problem. We've talked about that in here. We've talked a lot about some celebrities that went overboard. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that's not necessarily a good thing. I think if you get filler and it's done conservatively and it's done by someone who's skilled, it can look amazing. So I wanted to just kind of, you know, disagree with her on that.
I feel like it's like the people that get this things that it looks unnatural are also the ones that are like, they're doing like all the things.
Like doing too much.
Like they're doing buccal fat, they're doing their cheeks, they're doing all of it.
And that's why Megyn Kelly's kind of going off on a rant here. I just wish she was more balanced. Wasn't Fox News fair and balanced? Isn't that what it's supposed to be? Right? I mean, that wasn't fair and balanced. That was her just like talking crap about filler. There was no balance there. I mean, I guess she's not on Fox anymore, but
isn't that on her? Should she have like a little podcast?
Yes, it's apparently pretty popular. So, I mean, I don't dislike her. I just had beef.
She's got that. She's got those opinions, those big ones.
All right, let's recap this real quick, Trey. So today we were talking about Megyn Kelly on her show. Went on a rant about how bad fillers are, and I was a little in disagreement with her. I think she has some good points. I think she's been a little hypocritical. She's saying that, oh, it's okay to have lines on your face, but also I go get Botox every 4 months, is what she was telling everyone. But she went on this rant about fillers and saying that if you get them, you're going to look bloated, and you're going to look fat, and all these crazy things. So I do disagree with her. I've always said that the best fillers are the ones that nobody knows you've had. And if you get fillers done conservatively and by someone who's skilled, no one will know you have them, but they will make you look younger. But she does have a point that if you take fillers too far, you can start to look unnatural. And we've actually talked a lot about that on this show and had celebrities that were like, oh my gosh, they just went too far. So I think Megyn Kelly had some okay points, but I do have some beef with her, because I don't think she was fair and balanced, and I think that that's one of the things that show says that they are, or maybe it was when she was on Fox. I don't know. I can't remember. So.
What age would you say that people should go start doing like fillers for aging stuff?
For aging, not lips.
For lips.
Not for lips. Okay, so I would say the common ages is in the 40s.
Okay.
You know, if you're getting, maybe in the late 30s if you have, you know, genetics that are not favorable, but 40s is probably the most common.
Gotcha.
You know, and I don't want to say anyone has to get fillers.
Because like these days, it's like the youngest, like really young girls are wanting filler in their lips and filler right here.
Lips are totally different. Because like honestly, an 18-year-old could get lip filler, and if it's done properly, it could look amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
But properly is the key word. So.